Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and today we have another update for Deck of Panning. So I do have my Star Wars cards here, but we are super far into the year. If you do not know what Deck of Panning is, it is a panning game with a game board and prompts, and it all revolves around a deck of cards, and the creator and the YouTuber that continues to host this project is Emily and Max. I always do have Emily link down below with her intro video and also the spreadsheet that she so lovingly shuffles every single month for us. I do have all my products. I have my little book that I keep all my tracking in. So without a whole lot of rambling about this project, let's go ahead and roll into it because I have 4 rollouts, so that means 4 more cards that we're bringing in. So let's go ahead and get into the update. So I mentioned in the last video that I did dye my hair, and so this is my darker hair for the fall, and it has a little bit of red to it, but with my Irish background, my hair leans red anyway, but in the sunlight, I do get a lot more red pulling through, and this is also the time of year where I get the urge to like chop 4 inches off my hair, but I'm trying to resist and grow my hair out just a little bit more because it is doing relatively well and being healthy, but we have, what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4 rollouts, 2 items staying in. Let me pull up my spreadsheet here. No, we have 3 things staying in and 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 prompts rolling out, 3 staying in. I think I'm going to keep it at drawing in the same amount of cards that I'm rolling out, but we will see what the cards bring us. But let me go ahead and get into my rollouts. So last month, yes, this one got rolled in last month, and we have my Lethal Wildflower palette. Now this did roll in for a 9 of Hearts, which is Oh the Shame, and Emily has like an Oh the Shame drawer, which is items that she has purchased but not yet used. So with my Oh the Shame, this is a very spring colorful palette, and so it is shameful that I did not roll this in during the springtime and get this used kind of no pan left behind style. So I did have that goal for this prompt, so I was able to use every single shade in this palette. Usually I'll have my graphics popping up over here on this side so that you guys can see what I ended up doing with being able to use all of these shades. I do love this palette. It is beautiful. The shimmers in here are not as opaque. They are a little bit more of a topper type shimmer, but they do have coverage because they have so much impact and shine. But I was able to use every shade in my Lethal Wildflower palette, so this one is a rollout. And the next one actually has been in for quite a few months. Let me go in my little book here. I think that this one has been in for at least 3 or 4 updates, and it has reflective packaging, so you guys might know what it is. But this is my Hourglass, as you can see my table in front of me, but my Hourglass Ghost Ambient blush palette, and so it's just this quad of blushes. So I did have a goal to use this 20 times, and that's why it took me quite a few updates to use this. I did roll this in for a 9 of Diamonds, which was collecting cobwebs, which again, I keep track of all the times that I'm using my blushes, and by the time I rolled this palette into this project, I had not used it all year long. So this was just sitting in my collection, not getting used, and I really enjoyed rolling this in. Mainly, I stuck to these 2 shades here, and if I'm looking at it, there's a big wear down on this shade right here in this corner. There's a big wear down on it. So I don't know if I could see myself panning this palette eventually. I mean, I'm gonna pan all of my stuff. Okay, hair, the one stray hair that wants to sit on my shoulder. I, of course, want to use up all of my products eventually, but I don't know if I would ever just like put this in a project and if I would just focus on this palette, but I loved getting my 20 uses out of it. It really helped me reach into this palette more, and so I'm happy that this one is a rollout as well, as I pinched my finger in the compact. But the next one, this one also has been in for quite a few months, and I rolled this in for a 7 of Spades, which was a highlighter. So I rolled in my Say Super Glowy Gel, and this was just a kind of like deluxe size sample that I got as like a point perk or something through Sephora, and I did have my line markings there on the side. And with this one, it was an airless pump, and so the product went up. And so I did actually use this up today. I got the last little bits out of it to mix in with my cream blush. And if I'm looking at my little spreadsheet here, I got a total of 31 uses out of this little product. Now, when I was down at the Sephora for my birthday, like on my birthday, I went down to like our shopping area and I went to Sephora because I was able to just wander around and shop by myself. I considered picking up the full size of this, and it's not necessarily super expensive either, but I still want to wait for when Sephora does their sale at the end of the year to go ahead and pick up this product. I did look at the mini, and it's almost to the point that it is more cost effective for me to pick up the full size over the mini, knowing that I will end up using it up. So I think at the end of the year, the full size of the Say Super Glowy Gel is in my future, but I was so happy to be able to try it in this little deluxe size sample and get 31 uses out of it. I think that that is enough use to really have my idea about the product and say, yes, I do want to repurchase that one. And then the last rollout is actually 2 products that were for the same prompt. And this one I rolled in last time, and it was the 5 of Diamonds, which was color. I ended up getting an emerald green, which was actually kind of the color of my shirt here today. I ended up picking an emerald green, so I did pick 2 of my green liners. So I had Urban Decay Stash and then ColourPop Wild Idea, and my goal was to use each one of these 5 times each. So I did go ahead and I got the 5 uses on each one of these green shades. Now, Wild Idea did roll into my project 10 uses, so now this is staying in, and I'm going to be doing an additional 10 uses on it for that project. But for this project, this prompt is rolling out, so this is our 4th prompt completed. So happy with these. Urban Decay is my favorite liner formula. I like the metallic liners from ColourPop, and this is one of their like color shifting ones, even though I don't really see a shift on it whenever it's on my eyes, but it does go from a pretty like tealy emerald green to like a goldy green. So it is a pretty shade, but I don't necessarily see that shift once it's on my eyes. So I'm happy to have this, but also wouldn't repurchase one of these color shifting liners if it came down to it. So those are our, oh, no, I have one more rollout because last month I forgot about my, let me get it out of my basket. I forgot about my Metropolis palette. So I forgot that this was in a prompt, and I actually didn't even put it on my spreadsheet, which shame on me. So I think this was for like an expensive item, and so this is the most expensive item in my collection. And so I did have this rolled in. I gave you guys an update on it in my No Pan Left Behind, but today, this look that I have on my eyes, this beautiful goldy look, this is the last of this palette that I needed to use. So I am rolling this out today. So what, we have 5 rollouts? That means 5 cards coming in. That would put me at a total of 8 products. Well, we'll see what happens with the luck of the cards. But this is this beautiful color story, and this is how I was able to use my 2 liners a lot with this color story because it's absolutely stunning. So I love this palette. I love this Natasha Denona formula. I think it'd be interesting for her to come out with a, I think this is 28 shades, but I think it'd be interesting for her to come out with a bigger palette like this again, but I feel like it would feel repetitious with all of the mid-size palettes she already has out. I feel like she's covered pretty much every color story except for something that would be more along the lines of Leela versus Love. But I love this formula, love these shades. They're so beautiful, so sparkly, so impactful, and so I am able to roll this out as well. My goodness, so that means we have 3 items staying in. So let me rearrange so I don't end up dropping anything, and we'll go over my 3 products that are staying in. So the one that's going to be in here forever, and that is because it is a 10 of clubs, which was a in it for the long haul prompt, and that is my Fenty Eavesdrop Skin Tint. And I was able to go into my closet over there, turn off the lights, get a flashlight, and actually make a new marking on this. And so we are now down to there. So a little bit of a jump. This is not the one that I'm reaching for all the time, but I am reaching for it. And let me get my book out because I'll be able to tell you guys how many times. So in total, because I'm just making my marks on here, in total I have reached for this 8 times. So it's not getting that consistent use, but I do have the goal to finish this. Now it's not going to be done by the end of the year, even though that's significant of a jump with only 8 uses. But I know, of course, the bottle gets bigger as we get down to here. But I'm just happy to be getting use out of this. I think after my 8 uses, I have formed an opinion that this is not going to be my favorite skin tint. It's fine, but it's not what I'm looking for in a skin tint. So I'm okay with using this up and continuing to track it with you guys, but definitely once it's done, I'm not going to repurchase that at all. But hopefully, like, my graphics with my weights and comparisons and stuff like that are popping up as well. But let's go, because I'm turning my page here. So the next thing that I had rolled in, this was for an 8 of hearts, which was warm toned, and I rolled in another one of my Hourglass blushes. This is another blush that had not had any use so far this year, and this is in Incandescent Electra. So it is this beautiful, warm, coral kind of shade, and so I did have a goal to use this 15 times. Since last update, I have used it 5 times, so I feel like that is decent progress on it, where it'll be in for 3 months and then we'll be able to roll it out by the end of the year. But again, I'm just happy to set these other usage goals on my blushes that I'm kind of neglecting. I'm not necessarily reaching for this warm toned blush all the time, so this is kind of forcing me to do it, which I'm totally okay with. So love the Hourglass formula, and I actually ended up getting this one in a FabFitFun, so again, I'm glad to get products like this in my subscription boxes, but I have to use them if I get them. So this is in for another 10 uses. My last one is a palette, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself because I don't think that I maybe did one more look with this palette, but I haven't reached for it since. And that is my Ensley Rain Flower Moon palette. So I did have the goal for No Pan Left Behind. I rolled this in for a 7 of hearts, which was eyeshadow. And I mean, this palette is beautiful and it's so fall, which again, I'm not mad about it rolling in through September into October because this color story is perfect for that. It's just, I think that I had a lot of bigger palettes come in to my No Pan Left Behind. I ended up picking up the I Need a Warm palette from Natasha Denona, and I wanted to get use on that one so that I could give a review in my buys and buys that just went up. So I feel like I was kind of inundated with palettes, and I did not end up reaching for this one a whole lot. Not only that, but I told you guys in my last update that for my birthday, I took like 7 days off of work, and unless I was filming, I did not wear makeup. So I took my time and I hung around the house and I lounged in bed and I did all the things to relax, which is so refreshing. I'm filming this video a day early because I go back to work tomorrow, and part of me is like, do I have to go back to work? Do I have to? I don't want to, but getting this time off has been so refreshing and so needed. So if there's anybody out there that is like, oh my God, I can't take time off work, I feel guilty about doing it, take the time off work. Period. I'm at the point where at the end of the year I'm going to be at use or lose, so I'm going to need to put in some more leave requests so that I can take my time off because I have earned it. And this hair over here is driving me crazy. It's like the one hair that wants to split off by itself. We'll see if I can get the hair to cooperate. But that was, oh, hopefully I put up my graphic from the Ensley Rain palette so you guys can see the horrible progress that I've made on it, but I still feel good about the products that I've been able to do. So that means, because I already have 3 staying in, let's draw 4 cards and see how that feels. And if I'm feeling daring enough, I'll draw an additional card as well. But I have my beautiful golden Star Wars cards, and let me see how far down BB-8 was. So we leave 1 Joker in the deck, and that stands for a prompt that is the "Are you joking?" And so my Joker is BB-8, and I'm getting close to the top. Oh, there's BB-8. He was right there. Not necessarily at the top, but he was very close to the top. And so I'm going to go ahead and shuffle my cards. We're going to look at, I did some screen captures of the game board, but I have not looked up what the prompts are. So of course, the face cards and the aces, they do not change. They stay the same all year round. It is the numbered cards that end up changing. So let's see here. Affordable, graveyard, non-makeup item, primer, seasonal, matte, wish list dupe, which is always fun. Cities, a miniature sample, dethroned, this time last year, baby goal, spotlight a pinner. All right, so we have some really fun goals in here. So I'm going to shuffle one more time. Then I'm going to split on camera, split the deck. And we will go ahead and draw our 4 cards. So we have our deck. We're going to split it down the middle. And these cards on top is what it's going to be. So we have Kylo Ren, which is the Jack of Clubs. So that is a powder product. Okay. Next one on top is going to be, so another powder product. So this is the King of Spades. No. That was a Jack. This has Pan. So this is going to be a has Pan. So we have Darth Vader there. All right. We got Kylo Ren and his grandpa together again. All right. Next card off the top is going to be the 6 of Hearts, which let me look what that is. So this is a concealer. All right. We can work on that. And then card number 4 is the 5 of Spades, which is Cities. I had this one before, and I had my Dallas blush in this project, and I ended up using my Dallas blush. So what do we have? We have a powder product, we have a has pan, we have a concealer, and then we have a Cities. I'm going to live dangerously, and I'm going to pick one more card. So that is the 2 of Clubs, which is brand you own the most of, which at this point is probably Natasha Denona. So, all right. So let me go ahead and pick these items out of my collection, and I will come back and show you what we're working with. All right, guys, I am back, and one of these items it might be a stretch, but we're going to work with it. So I have my 5 cards, my 5 prompts. So our first one that we got was the Jack of Clubs, which is Mr. Kylo Ren, and that was a powder product. So what I'm going to roll in is actually my, let me wipe it off because it has all sorts of smudgies, but my Nakia Joy brightening powder. So this is a pink powder. Let me see if I can show you guys. This is one of the pink powders. I do use this on my under eyes and down the middle of my face. Now I have been tracking on the back just for myself, and so we can see our last line down here was where I was at the beginning of September. So I only have a little bit left to go. So I'm going to roll this into finish. I should be able to finish it up in the next month or so. And so this will be a powder empty for me, but I wanted to go ahead and work on this. Now, we also had the King of Spades, which is Mr. Darth Vader. And with this one, it was has pan, so a product that already has pan in it. And what I ended up picking is another powder, but this is the Rimmel Stay Matte powder, so this is what I end up blotting with throughout the day. Now, I have not been using this as much, and you guys can see it has a nice monster pan in there. So it is well loved and it is used. I think I'm going to put a usage goal on this because I don't want this to hang around for a long time and try to finish it. So I think I'm going to put a 30 use goal on this because I have been neglecting reaching for this. So I want to kind of remind myself to reach for it. And actually today, I took Mr. Jane to a doctor's appointment about an hour and 15 minutes away. He had to go see a dermatologist, so we had to go into the bigger city for the specialist. And so whenever I did my skincare this morning, I basically just topped my skincare with this and did a little bit of brown mascara, and I really loved the way it turned out. So I think on like no makeup days, I need to also be reaching for this just to add that little bit of matte finish to my skin and also allow my skin to have a moment where I have something on it that will absorb the oils. So with this one, I want to, what did I say, a 30 use goal? So yes, I'm going to do a 30 use goal on this powder. Our next one that we reached for was the Six of Hearts, and so this is a concealer. This might be cheating a little bit, but this is my only open like liquid concealer. So this is the only one I'm using right now. Now I have it in the Natasha Denona packaging, but this is actually the Bobbi Brown liquid concealer. And if you guys can see, I have windowing all over this thing, so it is almost done. I'm to the point actually where it's hard to get stuff out on the dough foot, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove the stopper and I'm going to pull all the product out of this and put it into a little container and just use it out of the container. But my goal is to finish the rest of this concealer, so this will be my concealer empty, which is the, like I said, the Bobbi Brown one. It's just in this packaging, so I'll see how much I can pull out of this, and then we will go ahead and use this up. Now, what was the next one? I think I pulled the one for cities, so the Five of Spades. This is the one where I might be cheating a little bit. I looked through my entire collection, and apart from opening every single eyeshadow to see what eyeshadow palette has a like city name, and I've already done my Viseart Paris edit palette. I've already done that one in No Pan Left Behind. So what I'm doing is that I am born and raised in Florida. I lived down in the Tampa Bay area whenever I was, born and raised, and now I live in the Panhandle. But really what we are here in Florida, and especially here, we are a vacation destination. We are a spot where usually Midwesterners, you guys from the Midwest love coming down here, but I basically live in a vacation spot. And so these cities around here are very much vacation and tourist oriented, and actually a lot of our tax money actually comes from tourists. So thank you for coming here and making sure that we have our tax money to fix the roads around here. But I'm rolling in my vacation fragrance. So because I live in a vacation city, I'm rolling in my vacation fragrance. So since we are rolling into fall, and really this scent is not my absolute favorite, I'm going to do a 15 use goal just so I can get some more use on this. If we look at the back, I am down to there already. I'll hold it up and see if my camera wants to focus on it. So I'm already down to there, so we'll see how far down we get with 15 uses on this. And so that is my roundabout way of doing the city's prompt is because I live in a vacation area in a vacation city. And then our last card that we pulled in was the Two of Clubs, and so this is brand you own the most from. And at this point, I own the most from Natasha Denona, and so I'm taking like this into my own hands about not rolling it in through my No Pan Left Behind. And this is the Zendo palette. It does have a lot of pretty warm tones for the fall. I think I've already used some of these shades over here already, so a lot of times I have, not a lot of times, what am I saying? So I think I only have this half of the palette to go, but this is going to be a No Pan Left Behind goal for me to use these warm tone palettes or these warm tone shades. The cream to powders in here are not my favorite, but I mean, it's decent. It's just, I know that this palette got a lot of, not hate, but I think a lot of people were disappointed with this, especially after seeing the mini Zendo and then this coming out. I think a lot of us were disappointed in what this color story ended up giving us. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a No Pan Left Behind on this palette as well. This will be a really good palette to use some of those warm tones and then use the Ensley Rain palette, which I left all of my stuff back there, but my Ensley Rain palette to kind of add those sparkles, which let me grab this because we have all of our new products, and then we have our long haul product, which is our Fenty Beauty. We have 10 more uses on the Hourglass blush, and then we have quite a few shades in the Ensley Rain palette still to go as well. So that is what we're looking like. I'm going to need to take all of my pictures and do all of my graphics, but we are rolling in 5 products, and still, do I even want to say it? I'll knock on wood, still no Joker. So BB-8 can stay where he's supposed to be, which, let's look to see where BB-8 was. Let's see here. Oh, well, while I'm doing this, Mr. Jane has had a lot of skin issues, and so the dermatologist was like, yeah, this is what's going on. Let's put him on antibiotics for a little while, and then we're going to put him on a new special prescription food. And so we're getting that approved through our vet so that we can do the special food. But, okay, so here's my deck. The next card down was the 4 of Diamonds. Then the card after that was BB-8. So we were 2 cards away from getting the Joker. 2 cards away. Crazy. So very happy that we did not get the Joker. And here comes Mr. Jane. I think he heard me talking about him. What's up, buddy? So he got to go on an extra long car ride, and then we stopped and got coffee and pup cups on the way home. So that was Mr. Wash, if you just saw his little nose popping up. Update on Malcolm. I know I said in my last video that he took a little bit of a turn. He's kind of rallied a little bit. I was really not scared because I know what's coming, but I was worried that we were going to actually have to make a decision and let go of him yesterday. But he is still with us and he rallied a little bit. We're still doing his pain control and he is doing a lot of sleeping, but he's still getting around decently well, and he still loves to eat and loves to wag his tail at us and loves to cuddle. So he is still living the comfortable life on his medicine. So that is a little update on the pups. But I'm going to go ahead and get all of my graphics put together so that I can get this video up for you guys. But you guys know that I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. And as people continue to find me and subscribe, I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to encourage you to do all the things and hit a thumbs up on this video. Let me know that you're still enjoying my content. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you are new or if you are lurking. It is free for you, but it does help me out a lot whenever you guys hit that button down there. And of course, leave me your comment down below. How are you doing with your deck of panning? What did you roll in? What did you roll out? Have you gotten the Joker yet this year? Let me know how you guys are doing down below. I love our conversations down there. I have met so many fabulous people through this community and through this channel that you guys have no idea how happy I am. Like, I anticipate when I schedule a video, like I'm like chomping at the bit for it to upload because I want to interact with you guys. So I really do love our conversations down below. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this together, get all my graphics, get all my stuff good to go for you guys. And yeah, I think that's where we're at. I wish all of you guys a beautiful day, and I'll catch you in my next one.